So you got your first deal coming up here in a week. So you made about 19K on this one. How much money did you put down as a consideration on the option contract?
What do you mean consideration?
Yeah, the money that you gave the seller, how much did you give him?
$1.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, send it to him in the mail.
Yeah, I do that too.
I said, I can't. I said, I'll go down and check out the property, and I couldn't get in. Everything was sealed tight. So he said, well, if you would call a locksmith, and there may be keys on the counter. The locksmith charged me $70. I sent the invoice to Mike. They sent me a check with a paid receipt, and there were keys on the counter.
Wow. Wow. So you made 19 grand on $1 investment. I absolutely love that. Did you put any of your other money, or you didn't borrow any money or anything to do that, did you?
No, I just had conversations with Jason.
Yeah.
My mailings and my books.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Me too.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So where did you find your buyers from?
Well, I immediately, when I went down there to walk around the property, well, as soon as I had the option signed, I went down there, called the locksmith, met him there, and bought a sign, put it on there. It just put two bedroom, 2 bath, 1,200 square feet, Bob, with my phone number. And the realtor called me that day.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So my only expenses, I bought a lockbox, and I had to give the locksmith $70 cash because you didn't take anything else. But I got that back.
Good. So talk to me about the option contract. Were you given much opposition by the sellers?
No.
Pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially being a one-pager, and this option contract, I had to send to Mike Van Turben, who's a hunter also. We get off on a tangent. He said, I'm sorry to get back to you because I tried 2 or 3 different times over a period of 2 or 3 weeks. He was on a guided hunting trip in Wyoming. And we talked about that. So, and he's an attorney. He's the attorney for Bob Berg, who's the nephew of Dolores, who received the property when her sister Mary died. It's weird. So the property was owned by Mary. Dolores and Mary are sisters. They lived together there. Mary died. Dolores got ill, moved back to Michigan. The house has been vacant for a year, fully furnished.
Wow.
So Bob Berg is Dolores's nephew who has power of attorney, and Mike represents his good friend Bob as an attorney. So when I sent over the option, I said, well, he said, what do you have for an agreement or a contract to sign? I said, I've got a real easy 1 page. Let me forward it to you. And I didn't even fill it out. I said, let me forward it, look at it. And the next time we spoke, which was the next day, he said, well, why don't you fill that out and send it to me?
Good. Didn't have to explain much either, did you?
Oh, there's not really much to explain.
Yeah.
Other than a signer or signee, which is still, I still had to ask Jason on the form that he sent me. Now, how does this get filled out? But I wrote it down on my sample page, and
right. How important do you think your mentor is to you for the success on what you're doing?
I think it's very important. I was actually looking forward to it. being in real estate and dealing with realtors and lawyers back east, I know all that, but I didn't know at all this. And having a mentor, it's important. And even though I've got all kinds of real estate experience, I don't have all kinds of this experience.
Right.
So I'm glad I did this. We are glad we did this.
Cool. So you talked about being able to unlock all of the tools. Do you feel like you've been given all of the tools that you need to succeed?
Yeah. 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 I didn't know until the hour and a half I sat at the title agency. It looks like what's going to happen is I can just be prepared now that it's going to be double closings, or maybe I can get a finder's fee and not even go to the closing.
Well, and Jason's got some finder's fees that we use here in Iowa that you can have checked out there locally with your title company, but I'm sure they'll let you use them.
Yeah, and I
So,
called my property manager, who's been my realtor property manager for 16 years. And she turned me on to somebody she uses a lot at Stewart Title. I called her today, and I'm just swamped, but we're going to plan on meeting next week. So if I could get a couple of those, then I can lay out my plan, and this is how we do things without getting too deep. He's been a realtor down there for 15 years. He said there are 55 people in Green Valley alone die or go to a living here. 50 just in the little Green Valley. My thought was, after you gave me the first group of Green Valley, I was like 1,600 or something.
Yep.
I'm going to start doing the second mailing, because that could be a honeypot
to help move forward. So, how long do you think it took you to get used to the process?
a couple of weeks.
Good. It's pretty. I mean, I wrote most of it. Jason has helped with quite a few of the videos and writing some of it, and he goes through it. We write it pretty. Our goal is to keep it fairly simple and fairly easily laid out. Do you think it's easy to understand?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how confident do you think you were on your first call? You said you've been doing sales in that for several years. How confident were you on the first call?
On the first call of what?
To the motivated seller. So first phone call you got, you did your research and you called them back. How confident were you on that call back?
Totally confident. I was talking to somebody like you guys. As a matter of fact, his name is Dan Marcotte. Marcotte. His mom passed, and he and his wife are deciding. They live in Michigan, and they're deciding whether they want to move to Arizona or not. So they're going to stay in the Green Valley location, the mom's house. And if they do decide through the winter that they want to live here, they're going to sell that and buy a place. And then he's supposed to be getting in touch with me for us to go down and visit and see the place. We talked about hunting. It's all about breaking ice, rapport, commonality, and he started going on about he just got out of the hospital. He fell and broke his face, and I said, "Fell and broke your face?" He says, "I was up in a tree," and I said, "You were up in a tree?" He said, "Yeah, I was taking my grandson's, putting my grandson's tree stand up." I said, "You're a hunter," and that just opened up the can of worms. And we just went on and on and on. And that's what I try to do, is find the commonality and something that is icebreaker, or something that will build rapport quickly. Just because I got to get back on my feet. And I know real estate. I've proven it. It has made me a lot of money in my life, but I've never done this, and I'm all in.
Good.
Very